New revelations in the case that has gripped Australia and the world are coming in thick and fast, and they are disturbing to say the least. After Erin Patterson, 48, hosted a lunch at her home in Leongatha, in Victoria's southeast Gippsland region, on July 29, 3 of her in-laws died of suspected mushroom poisoning while a fourth man remains in a coma. But now, a tradesman has come forward to say he was paid to remove disturbing graffiti from the interior wall of a home in Korumburra, 15 kilometers from Leongatha, that Erin and her now estranged husband Simon Patterson were selling after they split up. It's believed that they had previously lived there with their 2 children. The tradesman says he was tasked with removing the imagery and words last year because the couple was preparing to sell the home, which fetched a price of $545,000 last August. The images, which Daily Mail Australia has seen, include pictures of gravestones and bizarre scribbles with themes of death and destruction drawn in black and red ink, the latter used to symbolize blood. It was disturbing. "We called it the death wall," the tradie said. They were done by the Pattersons' daughter. "It is pretty disturbing for mum to let the kids draw on their dining room wall." The poster-sized drawings featured 2 tombstones with daggers and decapitated heads, along with scribbles and dark quotes, including the words, "You are dead by the sword." Another has the date, August 1, 2021, with the words, "You will die within a year," written underneath. The tradesman, who does not wish to be named, said it took 6 coats of paint to cover the scrawlings. Another person who saw the images described them as satanic. Ms Patterson, a stay-at-home mum who has previously worked as an editor for a Korumburra newsletter, says she bought the suspected toxic mushrooms at a supermarket and an Asian grocery store, and was herself hospitalized after eating the lunch. She said that her children were not present at the lunch and went to the movies instead. They ate leftovers the next day, but the mushrooms were scraped off as they don't like them. Ms Patterson told police she became unwell after eating the meal too, and that while she was in hospital, her ex-husband Simon accused her of poisoning his parents. She said she was discussing the food hydrator she used to prepare the meal when her ex-husband asked, "Is that what you used to poison them?" In a panic, Erin has admitted that she then dumped the dehydrator. Food dehydrators are used to dry out mushrooms before using them in beef Wellingtons. The dehydrator has been found by police, and a source close to the investigation said police were conducting forensic tests on the dehydrator, which was found at a nearby tip. In a written statement sent to Victoria Police, Ms Patterson expressed hurt that people were so quick to rush to judgment. "I am now wanting to clear up the record because I have become extremely stressed and overwhelmed by the deaths of my loved ones," Ms Patterson said. "I am hoping this statement might help in some way. I believe if people understood the background more, they would not be so quick to rush to judgment. I am now devastated to think that these mushrooms may have contributed to the illness suffered by my loved ones. I really want to repeat that I had absolutely no reason to hurt these people whom I loved." She had earlier given a no-comment interview to police at the start of their investigations, blaming her decision to stonewall cops on it being a terrifying and anxiety-provoking experience. A neighbour of Gail and Don Patterson told Daily Mail Australia that Simon had lived with his parents after splitting with his wife, but moved out late last year. "Sunday morning, we saw the ambulance pull into their driveway and we didn't know what was happening," he said. "They'd been very sort of mobile people. They were always out doing their own lawns. They were pretty active. Don used to go for walks every morning." The neighbour, who did not wish to be named, described his neighbors as kind people who likely did maintain contact with their son's ex-wife even after the couple split. "He was a pretty good sort of a person who wouldn't hold those grudges. I don't know the reason they were there, but probably to see their grandkids," he said. News of the tragic deaths has been the talk of the small rural community, with allegations Simon may have suffered a mysterious serious stomach complaint in June 2022. He fell into a coma and was in ICU for 21 days in a case which baffled doctors. Erin has denied any wrongdoing and has written a statement to police claiming the mushrooms were a mixture of button mushrooms from a supermarket and dried mushrooms she purchased months ago at an Asian grocery store in Melbourne. She said the dried mushrooms came in a package with a handwritten label. However, she was unable to identify the particular Asian grocer she visited. She said she had passed on what was left of the meal on to authorities for testing. But another shocking revelation has come to light. It has now been revealed that Erin Patterson was known to pick wild mushrooms around Victoria's Gippsland region. A friend of the Patterson family said Erin was very good at foraging and identifying different mushroom varieties. The Patterson family, including Erin and Simon, would pick mushrooms each year when they were in season, the friend said. It's very common for people to go mushroom picking around that area. The family would go foraging regularly and knew what to pick. Daily Mail Australia does not suggest Erin intentionally poisoned her 4 relatives, only that she is known to forage. A local man who runs one of the many foraging courses around the region said he started the program to focus on the dangers of picking the wrong species. While he had never seen Erin in his classes, he said he tells students there are general rules to identifying toxic varieties, and the main one is not to pick mushrooms that grow under oak trees. Death caps mainly grow under oaks, which are usually in parks, he said. Mushrooms that grow under oak trees aren't all bad, but they are easy to mistake on the untrained eye. Police are continuing to investigate the circumstances surrounding the lunch, which was arranged to negotiate a reconciliation between Simon and Erin. So, there is still one question that remains unanswered: did she, or didn't she? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Please like and subscribe for more journeys through the blinker hole. For entertainment purposes only.